Hello children, today in this video we will be seeing about the environment. The previous two videos I explained about the natural environment, under which we saw the two categories, physical and biological environment. Under physical environment we saw in detail about the atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere, and under the biological environment we saw the biosphere. In today's video, we will be seeing about the human-made environment, about the ecosystem, then about the built environment and the socio-cultural environment in detail. What is meant by ecosystem? It is formed by the interaction of all the living organisms with the physical and chemical factors of the environment, which consist of the non-living components. They all work together. That is simply explained as the plants, animals and human beings depend on each other with their immediate physical surroundings. That is, they are interdependent. The living organisms in the ecosystem, they are divided into three categories. They are producers, consumers and decomposers. Now we see this in detail. Always the producer will be the plants, the consumer will be the animals and the decomposers will be the bacteria or fungi or any microorganisms. We see those things in detail. In today's video, we will see about the ecosystem of lake. This ecosystem differs from all the landforms. The ecosystem will be large like the rainforest, and even it will be very small like the ecosystem that happens in a pond. So in this video we will be seeing about the ecosystem of lake by using the three categories which we studied just now, that is the producer, consumer and the decomposer. And also it includes the abiotic components as I have mentioned: sunlight, temperature, oxygen, carbon dioxide, minerals and so on. I formed this lake ecosystem to explain you all. Now here consider this as the lake. Okay. In the lake ecosystem, the sunlight which falls on the water helps the growth of the algae. Imagine this as an algae. This algae will produce the oxygen for the animals. Like the biotic components include the animals which they are living here or the near to the lake and here inside the water. Okay, this algae produces oxygen for animals like fish, frog, etc. and provides food for microscopic animals too. Okay, some microorganisms will be living in this lake. For that also it will be giving the oxygen. Now what happens? The fish eats the microscopic organisms. They absorb the oxygen with their gills and they expel the carbon dioxide. Now this algae, small fishes also, they feed on those algae. Now what happened? The large fishes, the snakes, they also eat the small fishes. Now the decomposers. In the lake, the decomposers will be the microorganisms. Okay, the bacteria or the fungi. They break down the dead plants and animals and they will convert that into organic material and that will go back to the soil. So here the producers are the green plants, algae. That can be even the hydrilla or the water plants. Now the consumers are what? The animals which is living in the lake. Okay, like the plant eating fishes, large fishes, snakes, etc. Now the decomposers are what? The aquatic, the bacteria or the microorganisms which will break down the dead plants and animals, and what will be formed? organic materials will be formed that will go back to the soil. So here the abiotic component and the biotic components are involved and they are interdependent for their life. Types of ecosystem. As I have already mentioned, there are two types of ecosystem, that is natural and artificial. Under the natural, you can see the forests, grasslands, desert, mangroves, lakes, coral reefs, pond, everything comes under the natural ecosystem. Under the artificial ecosystem, you have the terrariums, aquariums, agricultural lands, etc. Now we'll see the human-made environment. From the word itself, you can understand the environment which is created by human beings are called as the human-made environment. Under this, there are two categories, that is the built environment, socio-cultural environment. Under the built environment, we can see many inventions and innovations of the human being using the skills and technologies like the railway tracks, machines, bridges, tools, buildings, monuments, everything comes under the human-made environment. Even the technology, it's the human-made environment. Now coming to the socio-cultural environment. Human are always termed as the social animal. Yes, he is dependent. So with the cultural and the social together, he makes the socio-cultural environment. That includes the family, community, arts, that is music, dance, everything, religion, country, education, and so on. Between the built environment and the socio-cultural environment, human from the early days, he made lot of adaptations. Human adapt themselves to the natural environment. He made many modifications that suit his needs. He changed himself and he changed the environment to suit whatever he wants to satisfy in the life. These modifications include shelter, food, clothing. Even in their social and biological and cultural needs are satisfied by their adaptations and modifications. For example, we can take about the coastal areas. In the coastal areas, like for example in Kerala, Kanyakumari, what they will be doing? They are living near the water body, the sea. So there, the main occupation of those people are the fishing. So naturally, their food include the rice and fish. The climate will be moderate, so they like to wear cotton cloth. The houses will have the slopy roof because there will be heavy rainfall. So the rain can run off easily. So like this, people, they adapt themselves, they modify themselves according to their environment. Now consider people who live in the places like Uttar Pradesh. There the winter will be very cold, there will be hot summer. So according to that, according to the climate, they will change their food and clothing. During the winter season, they might take sesame and groundnut, mustard oil to keep them warm. During the summer season, they'll change their food. They will eat a lot of watermelon, buttermilk, and then cucumber to keep themselves cool. So they balance themselves with the environment biologically too. So human early from their innovations, like they killed animal for food, they ate fruit and nuts, and then used animal skin for various purposes. Gradually what happened with innovations, skills and technologies, it ended up in rapid industrialization and mass production. Yes, they enjoyed the products which come out. They got satisfied with whatever they want through these innovations. But finally, it ended up in environmental degradation. Now we'll see the environmental degradation. It is nothing but the process by which the environment is increasingly polluted, overexploited and destroyed. We face some common environmental degradation issues like deforestation. What is meant by deforestation? Yes, they will cut down the trees for their uses like the timber, the need of timber, cultivation, and for the human settlement they will be doing this. Next is the noise pollution. Next, poaching. Poaching is nothing but they hunt the animals for various purposes illegally. Okay. In this also we will be disturbing the ecosystem. Land pollution. How the land pollution, they with the agricultural fertilizers, okay, the plastics, and then the industrial wastes, drainage, all this will cause the land to be polluted and the ecosystem will get damaged here. Overpopulation. So the need will be more and more we will affect the environment. More we will be exploiting the environment. Air pollution. Yes, the industrial smokes and everything. Poverty, that will again, it will lead into malnutrition. Yes, hunger. Yes, children, we saw in all these slides about the natural environment, human-built environment. In this whole chapter, you learnt a lot about what is happening and what we are doing to disturb the ecosystem and the environment. Now, there are some people around the world who are very much conscious about the future and they want to give a sustainable development to the future generation. So, they all were fighting to save the environment. These people are termed as environmentalists. If you search for these people, they are all around the world. They are raising their voices to control this environmental degradation by many movements. We will see the two movements that is existing in our country, that is Narmada Bacho Andolan and Chipko movement. The first one, the Narmada Bacho Andolan, it is a social movement headed by the environmentalists, farmers, tribals, the villagers, okay, whose main aim is to provide irrigation and electricity to the people who depend on the river Narmada for their water needs. It is led by Medha Patkar. The next movement is Chipko movement. It is a non-violent social and ecological movement. Especially it is run by the rural women in India who aims at protecting trees and forests again cutting down, that is the deforestation. Nothing but they just protest in a non-violent way by hugging the trees around and protect it from the destroyers. So when they are hugging it around, no one will cut the trees. So that is their belief and they are doing it for a longer time. Yes, children, these are all set to you all to only focus on one thing, that is save the environment and have a sustainable development. Thank you, children.